Hello everyone, welcome to Conjunctions in Astrology. This time we're looking at the moon in conjunction to Jupiter in your chart. Now this conjunction is a very famous yoga in the Vedic system called Gajakesari yoga, but it's actually formed in other ways, not just conjunction. And there are some misunderstandings about it also, so quite a lot to go into. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below, and if the video is good for you, give it a thumbs up. Let's begin. First of all, do you actually have a conjunction of the moon and Jupiter in your chart? You may think you do, but you may not have. A conjunction in the ancient Vedic system is about planets being in the same sign together, because a sign equals a house. So, if two or more planets are in the same sign, no matter how far apart they are by degree, they are in conjunction. But if one planet is 29 degrees of one sign, let's say, and the other planet at 0 of the next sign, that's not a conjunction, even though they are only 1 degree apart in space, because they are in different signs, therefore different houses, with a completely different lord. Another point to consider is the nakshatra. If planets are in a different nakshatra but in the same sign, are they still forming conjunction? Most definitely they are, because the nakshatra just gives them an internal experience, but they're still in the same sign, they're still sharing the experience of that house, and they are still in a conjunction. Therefore, if you have the moon and Jupiter together in the same sidereal sign, you definitely have a conjunction of these two grahas. It is known as Gajakesari yoga, a great blessing in astrology. But let's first of all have a look at the energies involved. And who then is the moon? The moon is known as Chandra in the Vedic system. He is the most gentle of all the grahas. He has no enemies. He rules 4th house in our chart, which is mother, home, land, country, and indeed society itself. He controls the actual health of our body because he rules our DNA program by which we will burn our karmas. He has everything to do with inclusivity, belonging, and happiness. The moon is our sustainer in this life. He rules the food which we eat and the air which we breathe. He is in fact ruling the health of our body and therefore our longevity itself. He is our changing emotions and also the mind manas, who is of course more difficult to control than the wind. And who is Jupiter? Jupiter is known as Guru in the Vedic system because he is essentially a teacher, the teacher to the devas, demigods. He gives the highest spiritual knowledge which takes us out of Maya and illusion and ultimately leads us to liberation. He rules 2 signs in the zodiac, Sagittarius and Pisces. From Sagittarius, he gives us religious system, dharmic action, philosophy, and indeed the laws of society and justice itself. From the sign of Pisces, his true home, he gives us a deep intuitive spiritual knowledge which links us with the Supreme. Jupiter is the Karaka representative for education, wealth, and children in our chart, and he also represents the husband in a female chart. So then when the moon and Jupiter, these 2 benefic planets, come together in your chart in a conjunction, certainly they are called Gajakesari yoga. But this is not just formed in conjunction. Of course, my video is primarily about the moon-Jupiter conjunction, but this Gajakesari yoga can also be found in 3 other ways. And Jupiter is in Kendra to the moon, for example, 4 houses away, 4 signs away from the moon. And also when you find Jupiter 7 signs away from the moon in the opposition house. And finally, in the 10th house from the moon, also another Kendra position. Now, what is the meaning of Gajakesari itself, by the way? Gaj is elephant and Kesari means lion. The elephant and the lion, these strong dominating animals of the jungle, show us there is a great strength in this yoga. If you have the elephant and the lion protecting you on your side, you are certainly very protected, and that's the point. Nonetheless, a lot of people have this yoga in some form in their birth chart. Please remember this. The moon transits all the signs of the zodiac in a month. Therefore, approximately 25% of the population have some form of Gajakesari yoga. And Parashara talks about the power of this yoga to give you wealth, security, good family life, education, happy children, so many blessings. People get disappointed because they have this Gajakesari yoga, but it's not giving them these marvelous results. Here's the thing, Parashara is always talking about unafflicted yoga, unafflicted conjunction or aspect between the planets. So check your chart carefully. If in your chart you have the moon or Jupiter conjunct or aspected by any malefic, this yoga becomes broken. In addition, if you should have Guru, Jupiter, retrograde in your chart, it will delay some of the manifestations of the benefits of the yoga. Check the video on my channel, of course, Retrograde Planets, for more detail. So in reality, 99% of people who do have this Gajakesari yoga will have at least one affliction of a malefic to the planets. But even though the yoga can be broken in this way, it is still going to give you benefits. Let's have a look. The first benefit seen is that the moon is the mind, and Jupiter influencing the mind opens your mind to wisdom. At some point in your life, or even from the very beginning of your life, you are open to learning truths of life, higher knowledge. This eventually becomes so important to you. It also tends to make you truly dharmic. In other words, you want to do righteous action. You truly are aware of the importance of this, and it becomes a crucial factor in many of your decisions. Moon-Jupiter aspects are definitely not revolutionary. They are not radical in any way. Moon-Jupiter people tend to be traditional, conservative, small c. They like things to have continuity. Now, Jupiter rules education, and being with the moon, this is most favorable because your mind is attuned to learning. You love to learn. You may have some afflictions to this moon-Jupiter conjunction whereby education gets stopped or it is not satisfactory, but ultimately you always come back to it. You are literally learning, picking up knowledge right the way through life. It's a very compassionate, caring and inclusive combination actually, Moon-Jupiter. Your mind is open with compassion and a desire to help all living beings, including non-human animals, represented by Jupiter. However, one thing to watch out for, Jupiter expands Moon's qualities. Moon is emotion, so you can become very emotional with this combination. If, say, Mars gets involved, then you can become emotionally reactive, and that can cause you some problems. But with your mind under the influence of Jupiter, one thing for sure, you see the optimistic view. You look on the brighter side of life generally, even if Shani, who actually gives depression, is giving you depression, anxiety by many other factors in your chart. Because you have Moon, Jupiter, you will come out of these issues. You will eventually find the light again in your life. And in fact, the real beauty of this Gajakesari yoga is its protective factor. Like that elephant-lion combination, you are protected by divine forces. And this is very special factor. This means that by other karmas in your chart, even when you have difficult, trying situations, even tragedies in your life, when your life falls apart, whatever else is there in your chart, because you have this Moon-Jupiter yoga, you can come out of it. You can actually make something of the most difficult situation. Now, Jupiter is, of course, Guru. He represents all teachers, whether from your school life, from your higher education, from the internet, from anywhere where you are learning, being mentored, being coached. And these people, you have a very strong emotional attachment to them, but perhaps to most of all, your mother, because Moon is the mother. Now, of course, afflictions can alter this, and many other factors indicate relationship with your mother in your chart. But this Moon-Jupiter shows that your mother was a teacher to you, a very important guide, source of wisdom, which you seldom forget. Of course, there is a downside even to the Moon-Jupiter connection in your chart, and this is that when afflicted or not well placed by sign, there can be a laissez-faire attitude to life, just flowing along with life, not really putting in the effort sometimes, taking things for granted. There can be many missed opportunities, of which you may have many regrets, some of you, and even laziness can overtake you with this conjunction. Now, Jupiter is wealth, of course, and with the moon unafflicted, that special chart that may have it completely unafflicted, wealth can come in abundance into your life, sometimes according to your past good karmas. But for many people, this moon Jupiter simply means that you have opportunities coming to you many times to always gain wealth. Even when you have loss in your life, loss of wealth, loss of job, loss of resources, moon Jupiter opens up the door to new opportunities. Now, the moon Jupiter will, of course, protect longevity and health because the moon represents these things. So, the less afflicted, stronger by sign, good health and longevity can be seen. Jupiter represents children, so definitely moon Jupiter can increase your happiness with children. It doesn't mean that you're going to have lots of children, of course. You have to see other factors in your chart, 5th house lord, 9th house lord for female, etc., etc. But you get on well with young people. And if you do become a parent, you are exceptionally good for your kids. And you are an expert mentor for them, guide, and even teacher to them. They will always appreciate you. And finally, of course, Jupiter represents the husband. So moon Jupiter in a female chart, well aspected, well placed, a really sympathetic, conservative, traditional, religious even, and very reliable, helpful husband. Many, many blessings can be there. But when the afflictions come in, it's not going to be so straightforward. There could even be a few emotional difficulties. Let's look at the sign placements, everybody. This is just for conjunction only from now on in the video. So if you have the moon and Jupiter in Aries, Leo, Sagittarius in the fire signs together, it's extremely powerful, especially for Jupiter. But the moon is not so comfortable here because he is Jala, the water element, and these are obviously fire signs. But Leo is the exception, where he is with his friend, the sun. So in Leo, certainly, if it is not too afflicted, of course, you can get government position, high position, generally in whatever field, and success, prominence. People look on you with favor. In Aries, Sagittarius, you're a big seeker of the truth, divine knowledge, religion, philosophy, etc. And you love to travel far and wide. And definitely you have energy to find success. One thing though, you shouldn't be too impulsive. That can cause you some downfalls. Now in the earth signs, you have to work hard to make the most of this moon Jupiter conjunction because Jupiter is not anything more than neutral in Taurus, Virgo, and he is actually debilitated in Capricorn. But the moon is nonetheless co-ruler of Taurus, strong in this sign. So the moon Jupiter in Taurus makes you very traditional, very concerned to hold on to your material gains. It can, not afflicted, that is, bring you gains in life, security, wealth, and family happiness. In both Virgo and Capricorn, a little element of lack of self-belief can be there because it's not the most optimistic sign. Capricorn, you're always looking on the dour side of life. When you have the moon there, it's under Shani's influence, and in Virgo, highly self-critical. So success takes a little longer in life to come, but with hard work, application, it's a absolutely self-made success factor. Now, when the moon Jupiter comes together in a conjunction in the air signs, that means Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, it's through your social networks, it's through your friendship, even family circles sometimes, that doors open up to you. It isn't so much what you know as who you know that is beneficial to you. It's quite an academic factor when it's in Gemini and Aquarius, giving you success in academic education sometimes. At least you can have a definite philosophical turn of mind. In Libra, it's a business success factor, certainly. One thing for sure, though, you can be a little bit of a social butterfly when you have moon Jupiter in all of these signs. And when it is afflicted, you can have over emotional reactions to other people, causing you some disturbance, particularly sometimes in your friendships. In the water signs of Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, it can be a very helpful combination. Once again, we don't want too much affliction, but there is a deep emotional nourishment coming to you from other people in all of these signs. Now, the moon Jupiter in Scorpio has the problem that the moon is debilitated, so you're not showing your emotions, even though they are very deep, very meaningful, sometimes even conflicted. And Jupiter just emphasizes this so much. But opportunities come to you definitely. You're very wise dealing with other people. Excellent counselor, coach, therapist, or even medical person, all of these things. When in Cancer, it's perhaps the best combination in any sign in the zodiac. The moon is in his own sign and Jupiter is exalted. So once again, afflictions can delay. Retrograde Jupiter could delay a little bit, but generally you can get success from your home country, from your homeland. You can get success in property, buildings, anything to do with real estate, home improvements, all of these things. And a happy family life, satisfactory domestic life is definitely going to come to you. Much happiness with children is often seen. In the sign of Pisces, Jupiter's own sign, the moon Jupiter is the most compassionate, the most caring, the most deeply empathetic towards other people and to all living beings. So it's definitely going to give you a great tendency to extend help to others. And of course, it's philosophical, religious, spiritual wisdom, knowledge. Good karma is coming back to you in this life when you most need it. Now to the house placements of the conjunction. Without shadow of doubt, in the Kendra houses 1, 4, 7, 10, this is a helpful factor. Although some Kendras do definitely better than others. Let's see. In the first house, Moon-Jupiter conjunction is very helpful because Jupiter is Digbala, great strength here. Moon is happy to be with Jupiter here. So popularity, great social interaction, help from other people in your career, in your fame even. Moon Jupiter can give you fame and extend your, let's say, public face in many areas of life. Even if it's not international fame, you get well known. Moon Jupiter rising can be good from your health, bringing you back from many dangerous health situations if they should occur by other yogas in your chart. But there is a tendency to overeat, overindulge, because Jupiter first house has that, and Moon increases it. Watch the sweet tooth. Moon Jupiter fourth house is exceptionally well placed to give you property, wealth from property, happiness in your home, domestic bliss. All of these things can be there unless there are too many afflictions. Of course, generally you will find the home of your dreams, and your domestic life is certainly where your heart is. Of course, in a non-compatible sign with affliction, Moon Jupiter is very restless in this fourth house. You can be moving homes continually or have more than one residence. Sometimes residence in a foreign land as well. But again, check the 12th house lord. In the 7th house, it gets a little bit tricky. Jupiter has become weakened by this position, and the moon is feeling ill at ease because the moon is always trying to please others, never feeling personally satisfied. So relationship difficulties can be there even with this Gajakesari yoga in your 7th house. But unafflicted, you may get a very special relationship, giving you comfort and security. But generally speaking, just with a little affliction, it can cause disturbances in relationships and dissatisfaction. Sometimes foreign spouse is commonly seen. In the 10th house, Moon Jupiter gives you amazing opportunities in your career, but the question is, as I've already said on the video, are you up to stepping up to the mark? Are you up to taking these doors when they open to you? If there is affliction, you could miss opportunities. So be on the ball when you have the Moon Jupiter 10th house. As soon as that door opens, you've got to walk through it. Again, when there is affliction, just like Moon Jupiter 7th house, opportunities are there, but you are feeling dissatisfied, restless, moving on all the time. There can be instability even although there is opportunity. One thing for sure, in your work, in your career, Moon Jupiter here means that you have to put your compassion, caring, tender nature to work. You have to be giving something back to the world to be truly happy. Now, in the second house, the moon Jupiter can give you a very good beginning in life, a very nourishing environment, family atmosphere, which stays with you and you become close to your family throughout life mostly. Again, afflictions can change it a little bit, but it's a very good beginning in life. And moon Jupiter gives you excellent ability to make money work for you. The problem is that the moon is fluctuating, so not well placed by sign. Many ups and downs in your financial stability, but overall it's favorable for wealth. It's a bit more tricky in the 3, 6, 11 house, particularly in the 3rd and the 6th, because they are actually having a big Martian influence. And the moon has no enemies, but the conflicts and the contentions and the arguments and the competition in the 3rd and the 6th make it difficult for the moon to be happy. Now, when Moon Jupiter are on their own, 3rd and 6th, not afflicted too much by the malefics, then you can even get support from your siblings, even though it's never really constant, and support from your work colleagues also. But when the malefics like Mars, Shani, Rahu afflict this conjunction, 3rd, 6th house, there can be very difficult competitive and even legal situations coming up. But still, Moon Jupiter can, as I've said, bring you out of the most difficult disturbances, and you could even gain from them. In the 11th house, Moon Jupiter very favorable for multiple streams of income, definitely. Doors open, colleagues support you, boss support you. You are favored in the workplace. You can become popular, favored in many network circles, and it's really a case again of who you know rather than what you know in your success in life. Now, Moon Jupiter in the 5th and the 9th house, education, learning is important to you. You love to learn. You are philosophical and deeply academic sometimes. But whatever it is for you, depending on sign and of course all of the aspects, you need education. You need to have learning in your life. Without that, you feel completely out of sorts, basically. So Moon Jupiter, academic education, some skill education, philosophical, religious education, whatever it is, you need to grab the knowledge. And of course, because Jupiter is guru, a teacher, you can become an excellent instructor and teacher to others. You guide others with your expert understanding and empathy. Now, Jupiter is children, so in the house of children, 5th house, it's excellent for your dealing with them. It doesn't mean that you're going to have lots of children, by the way. You have to see the Lord of the 5th, many other factors, but it makes you good with children. You're an excellent mentor, guide to all young people. Same for Moon Jupiter 9th house. And in the 9th house, your personal relation to gurus and teachers is very strong, very emotional, very deep. Even to your father, there is that deep closeness of philosophical understanding and inquiry. With affliction, there may be quarrels, but it is still there. And of course, Moon Jupiter links you to foreign cultures, foreign land, foreign philosophy, all of which can be favorable for you. In the 8th and the 12th house, there's more complex karmas coming here. First of all, the 8th house is a Madhukasthana for the moon. So this can give you some health problems, difficulties dealing with mother, etc. And Jupiter simply expands on this. But the good news, because it's a Gajakesari yoga, you come out of these difficulties. Extremely well aspected with no affliction whatsoever. You could even get family inheritance, etc. But the thing is that the moon is weakened in this house. So be very careful dealing with family members. They can upset you, cause you distress. Try to remain detached from family arguments. It's really important. Now, the 8th house is business dealings, stock market, investments, etc. Moon Jupiter is really intuitive in this house. You can virtually read other people's minds, second guess your competitors even, but don't trust it too much. The moon is Madhukasthana. It could let you down at a really difficult moment, especially with afflictions to this house. So always take financial advice before you make really big moves. In the 12th house, the moon Jupiter once again gives you intuition into other people's goals, motivations, and an incredible imagination. So if there are other factors like Mercury gets involved, etc., you could become a really successful writer, novelist even with this. But here's the thing, your restlessness won't let you settle to one thing very long. The best thing for you is to get involved in spiritual pursuits, spiritual knowledge, philosophy. This will settle your mind, give you peace. Meditation, exceptionally important for you. You can use your psychological insight, by the way, to become a counselor, mentor, someone who is giving help to other people. But if there is affliction to this moon Jupiter, your imagination goes into overdrive. You can have anxiety, mental health disorders even though it is a Gajakesari yoga, it can happen under affliction. Yes, you will come out of it, but it can still be there. And of course, sometimes foreign settlement can be there because moon is the home. So going into foreign lands will be good for you if the Lord of the 12th house supports it. Check out the karmas of both the moon and Jupiter in your chart up on your screen right now. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. Goodbye for now and God bless everyone.